So you've just been wondering, what is the ideal sex duration? How long should your sexual intercourse between you and your partner take? So there's some research that have said it should take approximately 3 minutes. There are those that say it should take up to 1 hour or 3 hours, just depending on your preferences. So guys, if you're really interested to know more, today I'm going to be letting you know on the ideal sex duration. So I know I've been having a lot of people who have been asking, so I'm trying to get pregnant, or I'm trying to find an orgasm with my partner. We haven't having the right duration. So Miss Grace, what's the right duration of us having sexual intercourse? How many minutes, how many hours, for how long should we have a satisfactory sexual intercourse? So guys, today I'm here to let you know on the ideal sex duration. So hi guys, welcome back to Let's Learn with Nurse Grace. So if you're new to this channel or you've just come across this channel, my name is Grace Ezekia and I'm a registered nurse. So guys, thank you so much. We are now road to 1,000 subscribers. Road to 1,000 subscribers. It's only about 50 people or so, then we get 1,000 guys. So I promise when you get to 1,000, then we are going to be doing something really special. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So please make sure that you continue subscribing to this YouTube channel. And if you're interested to know more about your sex duration, then make sure that you watch this video until the end. Let's get to the video. So I wouldn't say let it be 3 minutes, let it be 1 hour. Sex duration varies from one person to the other. It varies according to the person's preferences. And there are those people that say that it depends on what you consider as sex. And there are those people that say that it can take up to 3 minutes. There are those people that say it can take up to 1 hour or 5 hours, or just depending on how you want it to be. So, and we've got those people that consider sex as just that period of penetration, and there are those people that consider sex as that period from when you start a foreplay up until both of the partners achieve an orgasm. So it depends on what you yourself think about what is sex. And before we get to know the ideal sex duration, let us talk about factors that influence sex duration. There are a lot of factors that really influences our sex duration, and these factors are: the first one is what counts as sex. So I've already told you about what counts as sex. It depends on you yourself, what you consider to say that this is sex. It depends. If you're that person who says that sex just happens after, when the male partner, if it's both sex, after the penetration, that is sex. And there are those people that say that sex is from foreplay until both partners achieve an orgasm. So it depends what you yourself define as sex. So the second thing is the goal of the sex. What is making you have this sex? For example, people have sex for a variety of reasons. One of them being is baby making, others for fun, just others in order for them to achieve an orgasm or so. So it depends on what you're doing this. What is the goal of you having this sex? The goal of this sex will definitely affect the duration. For example, if you're baby making, then you'll want to try a lot of sex. You'll want to try spooning. You'll want to try dog style. You'll want to try all the kind of sexual positions in order for this process of baby making to be successful. And if it's just for fun, then it depends. It may take up to 5 minutes, up to 1 hour. And there are also those people that do this sexual intercourse, maybe videotaping or whatever in those circumstances. So it depends what is really the goal of this sex. Another thing is external constraints. For example, external constraints like new parents. If you're just a new parent, for example, you've just given birth, you just have a small baby, then you'll find that a lot of partners, maybe the wife and the husband, or maybe the wife and wife, depending on your circumstances, in most cases, this duration of sexual intercourse will not take a long duration, because that small time that the baby is sleeping, just the few minutes that the baby is sleeping, is when partners will want to have this sexual intercourse in order for them to get their satisfaction also before the baby wakes up. So in this case, you don't have enough time to really have enough sex. At some cases, you might find that these partners will maybe take a night out or maybe a night off in order for them to go another place just far away from their baby, in order for them to have a longer duration. Like maybe they can start from foreplay until both of the partners achieve an orgasm. So external constraints really affect a lot of things. Another thing is sexual orientation. So sexual orientation, meaning that it depends on what people like, if it's a heterosexual relationship or if it's people from the same sex. So there's some studies that have said like people from the same sex, especially the women, if they're from the same sex, then their sexual duration takes a little bit more. The duration is a bit more than those people who are heterosexual. And this is simply because, I'm just saying from my research, I've read it, those people who are of the same gender, of the same sex, when they're having this sex, the sexual intercourse itself, they achieve this orgasm very quickly and it lasts for a longer period than the heterosexual people, who the orgasm might take a little bit of time and it might end quickly. So that's why you tend to find that people of the same sex, during this sexual intercourse, the duration is a bit more than those people who are of different sexual orientation. Another point is the overall health. So when we talk about the overall health, it encompasses everything from your blood pressure, from if you're sick, from maybe if you've got any issues with your sexual or with your reproductive system. Maybe, for example, if you've got erectile dysfunction, then definitely you're going to be having difficulties during your this sexual duration is going to vary. It might be shorter or it might not even happen. Even those people, like if you've got, like, let's say a urinary tract infection for women, then you might tend to find that during this sexual intercourse, the woman is in so much pain that the duration is not going to take much time. So these are the factors that might affect this sexual duration. And other factors, if maybe generally you're not feeling well, maybe you've got high blood pressure. You know that if you've got high blood pressure and it's something that is not really controlled, then practicing this sexual intercourse might at times be very harmful to your body unless you've talked to your doctor, because during this sexual intercourse, it's an activity, and when you're having it, then it's an activity that is very strenuous. And when you've got these conditions like cardiovascular conditions, like maybe heart, high blood pressure, then you might find that maybe your heart rate might shoot, it might go up very high. And in some instances, you find that there are a lot of cases that we've seen that a lot of people die instantly during the sexual intercourse. And this might be one of the factors. You might be sick, you might be having a cardiovascular disease, you might be having high blood pressure and you don't know it, or maybe if you know but you choose to ignore the doctor's advice, then during this time is when it goes to a maximum and you might even collapse and die. So please make sure that you get checked out. In case you've got these conditions, seek medical advice. There are some medications that can help you safely practice sexual intercourse. Another point is age. So we all know that the younger generation, those people who are very young, and let's say like less than 40 and between 40 to 70. So those people who are a little bit younger, they might find that the duration, the amount of duration that they might spend during a sexual intercourse might be a little bit higher compared to those people who are aging. And there are those factors that might affect this period is because for one of them is menopause. If we women, we are experiencing menopause, then during the hormonal changes, hormonal imbalance, we might find that our vaginal gets to dry very quickly. We have this vaginal dryness. And when we have this sexual intercourse, we find that we get to feel very painful during this act. and it will definitely affect the sex duration, because of course no one is going to be enjoying a sexual intercourse and they're in so much pain. So during this period, you get to have the duration will be a little bit slowed down. And even for the male gender, the older they get, it might be quite a bit difficult for them to achieve an erection. And even if they achieve this erection, it might be a little bit difficult for them to maintain this good erection. So guys, so age is one of the factor, and even achieving this orgasm, achieving this being aroused might take a little bit of time for it to happen. And in that circumstances, one might get tired very easily and just give up on the whole thing about sexual intercourse. So age is one of the factors that really affects our sexual duration. So guys, we've got ways that can help us last longer during the sexual intercourse. And one of the ways is delaying orgasm. So if you're that person, or if one of the partner achieves the orgasm quite more easily, then it's a good idea for you to find out activities during this sexual intercourse that can make your orgasm delay. Because of course, if one of the partner achieve an orgasm and the other one still hasn't got to that point of achieving the orgasm, then the one who achieves the orgasm very fast, by the time the other one is achieving the orgasm, then the other person, the orgasm will be already gone. And if it's a woman who achieves it fast, then it's gone. So you'll find that by the time the man is achieving this orgasm, the vagina is a little bit dry, and at this point you might feel a bit painful or burning sensation during the intercourse. So if this happens, please find activities, find ways that might help bring the orgasm duration down. Another point is continually communicating our sexual needs and wants. So if we get to communicate our sexual needs and wants with our partner, then it will enable us, when you are the person who knows you achieve this orgasm faster, when you are touched in a certain way, or when this happens, then the orgasm comes very quickly, or you get aroused very quickly. Then if you get to communicate with your partner, you can maybe warn your partner against doing that and trying something else. Communication is very important in this way, and it will help delay the orgasm. So another thing is that you can also consider external stimulation, for example, of the clitoris. So you can also consider the external things instead of just going directly into the penetration, and within a few times the duration is shortened, because after the penetration everyone is all aroused, and after that the man ejaculates, then that's it. That's the end of sex. So if we can try to do other external stimulation like clitoris, other things, then we might find that this sex duration might be delayed. It might be a little bit longer. And another point is to focus on foreplay before penetration. There are a lot of things that you can do during foreplay. For example, you can do some kissing, some caressing. So if you're at that point that you think this thing is going to be faster, and then you can start with the foreplay, so that before you get into the penetration part, both partners are very much aroused and all their orgasms have reached to the maximum. So those are the points that can help you last longer. So we've got some studies that have said the ideal sex duration should last about 3 minutes. It says that in these 3 minutes, so we've got these studies that say a sexual intercourse that lasts about 3 minutes, it's very short. One that lasts between 3 minutes to about 7 minutes is just an adequate sexual duration. And the other one that lasts anywhere between 7 to 13 minutes is the desirable sexual duration, like the desirable, whatever we are supposed to be achieving. And one that is anything past 30 minutes, then that is a very long sex duration. So I wouldn't say that we've got an exact sex duration. The ideal sexual duration depends on what are your preferences, what are you going to achieve after this sex, and in that case, communication is the key. So there's no ideal sexual duration. The sex duration that you and your partner gets to enjoy and be fulfilled is the right sexual duration for you. Communication, just communicate between you and your partner, and After all, you're going to be achieving the best sexual duration. And you might find that maybe this time you took about 3 minutes, next time it might go up to 1 hour or 3 hours. So it just depends on both of you and how well prepared you are. So that's it for this video, guys. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and see you on my next video.